Welcome to another episode of DD on the Spot. As always, I'm your host, Ryan Johnson. And before we get into it with our guest here today, I'd like to remind everyone that if you enjoy this content, to please give a like and subscribe down below. I'd greatly appreciate it. We have Aurelia on the podcast. She's coming to us all the way from Slovakia. I mean, we got another person in the same neighborhood. Like I said, I just published a podcast from a guest from the Czech Republic and their, bordering countries. But yeah, she's on here to share her health and fitness journey, and she's been competing in bodybuilding for quite a long period of time. So she has a unique experience in that aspect. And yeah, I just love to have her on and share her journey. But most importantly, she's our current guest. Aurelia, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. Well, I normally ask what the weather's like, but I'm looking outside right now and it's already depressing me enough as it is. So we'll just skip that part. And why don't you just first off give us your backstory on what inspired and motivated you to get in shape and how that led to your eventual bodybuilding career?
It's for me maybe very strange for someone to hear that my first step in the gym was because I was too slim. I wanted to put on weight. I know that most of people, they want to lose weight. I needed to put on weight because what I remember that time, it was 101 pounds, my weight, and I am 5'8" tall. That was only skin and bones. Really, for me, it was difficult to put on weight. And really, I was thinking that I wanted to look great. I wanted to have a sporty form or to look healthy, for example. And so I decided to go to the gym. But for me, it was like from the scratch, because really I didn't have strength, I didn't have energy that time, I didn't have knowledge what to do. So I can tell that this few years was really not very, how to say that, sophisticated training. It was like, what I wanted, I trained. So, and what you asked me before that, really my first competition was after 7 years what I was in the gym. So, and it was only because one guy asked me. He was that time in Slovakia very renowned in bodybuilding industry, what I can say, probably this. And he asked me if I don't want to compete. And in my opinion, why not? So, and that was my step that I started competing. But my first competition really was after 7 years training, which was that time, which was, I think, after reading magazines and reading some information, 7 years was enough that I had enough muscles to show on the stage that time. So,
how did you get information back then? Because yeah, it is vastly different than it is now.
In Slovakia, that time, I mean that still there are two magazines like Muscle Fitness, which in USA is also, and some, it calls some word of bodybuilding. Of course, my husband helped me a lot, and he read some information on the net, and he read some book. I think it was book like some very thick book about bodybuilding, and it was bodybuilding from all the world, not only from Slovakia. That was that. What I want to mention that some advices were good, but some for me weren't good, because I tried to do like it was written. Sometimes it was disaster. So.
What was some advice that didn't work for you? I'm curious.
Yeah, that was problem, for example, because really we together with my husband, we didn't know this competition preparation a few weeks before a competition. It was about dieting. It was about 1 week because competition, what is necessary to do, like get rid of water and to be in this shape, like more drier and everything, and we didn't know at all anything. So at that time, this guy helped me, helped me, but he suggested, for example, I ate at that time 5,000 calories
Wow.
a day, because I wasn't able to put on weight. I ate a lot, and okay, I want to compete. And he told me, but you have to have a diet which is 1,200 calories per day. I lost 1 week 5 kilos, around 10 pounds. But after that, nothing. I lost strength, I lost energy. This body didn't look great, because it was, it was shock for me, for my body, for my mental thinking. I was totally, completely, I was shocked. And after that, I wanted to compete again, but I was thinking that, oh my God, again this diet, you know. And my husband was thinking and told me that there must be some way how can do that more healthier. And or he told me that sure, it's not a problem to lose weight, but you cannot lose weight so fast. And after that, nothing. So we did gradually. After that, this dieting. It was a system that each week we change a portion of food. Each week. But if I lost 1 kilo, and it was about 2 pounds, it was okay, and this food was same. If I wasn't able to lose this weight, again it was smaller portion. It was good for me. It was completely good.
What were you eating for 5,000 calories?
Oh my God! I was able to eat 2 pounds meat a day. 2 pounds meat a day, because it was a very high protein nutrition program. Because always it was that you have to know your weight, and after that you have to put 2 or 3 grams proteins on 1 kilogram your weight. Yeah, kilogram is European measure. So, and after that we counted, and after that, of course, it was also fat there. It wasn't clean, because I ate everything that time. So that was 5,000 calories, really.
Wow.
What I want to mention, because really for someone that is stupidity, that time I trained twice a day, 5 days a week. My digestion was very fast. That was reason why I was always so slim, that I was able to eat so much.
No, that does help. I mean, I'm 6'3" myself, and I'm only about like 200 pounds right now. So I do have a somewhat of a similar problem where my metabolism is very, very good. So I really do need to pack on a lot of food if I really want to put on any significant size. But whenever someone first gets started, they always have that one body part that really, really takes off. They don't have to train as much. And they have that one body part that really drags behind. They have to train to oblivion. What was one body part that really took off for you? And what's been one body part that you've just had to drag behind?
Yeah. So for me, my best body parts are upper body. I am able to train very high. Not right now, not, but my lower body, legs, quadriceps, and calves. That was horrible. That was horrible. And I remember, for example, that I did 1,000 repetitions for calves. It was one set was 100, and it was 10 sets. And I remember that the guys looked at me and, oh my God, what are you doing? You are stupid, you know. That they didn't understand why I'm doing so many repetitions. But I knew that I didn't have calves at all when I started. It was only bones, and I had to do this that time.
What was that like stepping on that stage for the first time, and how has that evolved over the years?
Yeah, that's this first time was very difficult, because really I didn't know what is all competition about. That's true that this guy, what I was speaking about first time, he told me what to do. For example, about how to do routine. You have to show your body in the best way for audience and everything. So, and really, and I had this problem for a very long time to do this routine properly, really, because I am not a dancer. For me, it was difficult to change me from a gym immediately to be some flexible and movable person on the stage, and it was difficult. But my opinion that really is shouldn't be how to say it, shouldn't be put some point because you are not good dancer. In bodybuilding, I think that you are doing best in the gym, and really, if someone is going to train with heavy weights, really your body is very tough. Of course, I'm doing stretching, everything, but really I cannot dance. And it was a problem a little bit, but of course, color. I am too pale. How to say? My skin is pale. For example, yes, the same. Yeah, when it's sun, everybody are brown. I am red. So that's difficult for me. For someone was enough 2 layers. For me, weren't enough 5 layers. That was a problem, and I felt very bad that this my effort in the gym after that can be destroyed with such small but very how to say very important things for audience and for judges. That was problem.
Yeah, I'm mainly Norwegian myself, so my skin, yeah, the moment that you said paleness, I'm like, okay, yeah, I totally understand that, where that's just, yeah, the amount of layers that you need to put on. But out of the poses that you do, what is your favorite pose and what is your least favorite pose?
Oh my God! For my best pose, I think, is everything what is like when I am a little like not front or back, but a little aside and triceps and maybe chest, bicep and chest, which is not completely like in front, but little. What I said, that little. I like, for example, to show my back, but there is problem because there is visible that I have very slim legs. So this back is nice, but these legs are little tiny. So that was problem.
It's always been one of the more fascinating things to me about the sport is just, yeah, how you can't just have one really good set of muscles and, if anything else is lagging, like it just has to be so well proportioned and so, well done. But you've been competing in the sport for a while. What have been some of the biggest changes that you've seen in the sport as you've done more and more shows?
You know what? I was thinking that really when I started, it was 2000. That was 2000, and right now it's 2023. And when I started, there was only two categories for women: fitness and women bodybuilding. They were splitted like lightweight, heavyweights. Fitness was about how you are tall, and right now I'm thinking bikini, figure, fitness, women physique, which I tried to compete there, female bodybuilding and wellness. And for me, okay, because more people can show their bodies, and yeah, that's really tough because everybody looks different on the stage, and for someone is good to be bikini, for someone is good to be figure. Okay, but what I was very sad, I switched 2012 to women physique category because judges said there were rules: no visible veins, not to be bulky, not to have big muscles, healthy look, symmetry, and I was thinking that's good for me. And it wasn't true because I was down. And of course, that right now I'm watching websites about bodybuilding and which presented this competition and results of competitors, and I can recognize that these women physique competitors, female, is very close to female bodybuilders. Sometimes this women physique is better prepared like women bodybuilder. And I was thinking they are almost same. And for them, these rules are not very understandable. It's for them, little confused. They are confused. What is it about? That's
Yeah, I hear that all the time too, where it is just becoming a gray area when it comes to the look of the physique competitors versus the bodybuilders, where they are looking somewhat similar. And like you said, at times the physique competitors, yeah, they definitely have more preparation and more out.
First, it was very good idea because it should be light version of a female bodybuilding. Which, for example, my experience is in Slovakia that if someone doesn't like muscles, they usually don't like muscles at all. Small muscle, big muscle at all. But if someone like muscles, not too big. So this women physique was good idea, but right now I'm confused and I don't know why really.
Yeah, we could go on and on for hours about it because yeah, it is. Yeah, I hear this so many times from so many people. But what's the general reaction that you get? Being in Slovakia where there aren't that many bodybuilders and competitors walking down the street. What is that like? Because I compare it to being like a mini celebrity where you just draw people's attention because it's human nature when you see something that's not of the normal to just be fascinated by it. But what's that like for you?
Yeah, well, I was also thinking about this, that really in USA is much more better situation about this. And I am most of the year I am in Florida. I am 4 months in Slovakia, and in Slovakia it's not about complaining, but these comments are not very polite. Oh, they are behind my back, but really they don't like this. They don't want to see women like with strength and with big muscles. And that's true. That's true. But for me, is not some reason to be discouraged because I like my sport. I'm doing this. I know that I like it, and nobody can, despite of these really bad comments. I am lucky that I am bodybuilder.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a great way to look at it. And you've been doing this sport for over 20 years. What is the hardest thing about training as you get older that I need to prepare myself for? Because I'm 29 myself.
Yeah, you are young. Uh, I was thinking also about this. That really, I'm used to have pain for many years, but it's pain which I can, which I can feel, and I know that it's not some dangerous pain because it's reaction after training. Right now, because my last competition was 2019, and so I am 3 years off the stage, and I feel that if I feel pain, I have opportunity to switch this part, to change exercises, or to let 1 week off because I am not under pressure to be prepared for competition. That's good. And firstly, sure, I my doubts in my head were that okay, after that I will look not good, but I am lucky that I am visible with my muscles, and I keep, of course, not such a big muscle. I can say this middle strength, and volume of my muscles are quite visible right now still.
I mean, absolutely. For someone your age, are you kidding me? To even look like 1% of that, that's just absolutely ridiculous too. And someone who's been in this sport, for so long. But unfortunately, when you become a bodybuilder, body dysmorphia is a huge thing, and you're never going to be big enough. You're never going to be good enough. I mean, I've talked to some of the
Yeah.
most in shape people on the planet, and I always find that hilarious. But how do you deal with that? And has it gotten easier for you to deal with it as you've done more and more years of training, or is it still just as hard in the beginning as sort of just the mind thought or the mind process of like, am I good enough and am I big enough?
Yes, exactly what I said. That sometimes I felt that, oh my God, this was bigger sometime many years before, and something like that. But really, maybe it's not good because I can compare myself with my friends and many people around me, which I know, and they are the same age, or younger, or a little older, and they look horrible. Because that's true that after many years, I can mention that they don't eat regularly. They eat, for example, once a day. Only dinner. Because they don't have time to eat. And after that, they ask me, I am overweighted. What can I do? And when I ask them, tell me about your nutrition, for me only dinner. Oh, go to hell. That's I cannot put some advice and tell someone you have to eat at least 3 or 4 times a day, because right now I am 52 years old and still I am able to eat 4 or sometimes 5 times a day. Small portion, but still I have time for this, but they don't have time.
One meal a day, so they just pig out then, I guess, for that one meal.
Yeah, because without breakfast they are going to work. They don't have time. They have many things to do, and after that they don't feel they are not hungry, and after that they are very hungry, and they clean fridge completely. That's true.
I couldn't imagine doing an entire day's work on an empty stomach. That just seems impressive to me, at least in that. But it's yeah, that is
Yeah.
wild. So what was that like then? Because like you said, you spend a lot of time in Florida. What's that like going to the opposite, where in America the proportions are just huge and everyone seems to be eating quite a bit?
Yeah. Many times we ordered into restaurants food, and after that we recognize it's not necessary for each food. We can split really because it's too big. It's too big still, and we don't like very much restaurants because we have oven food. We have oven plan. My husband is ice hockey player, and we want to eat what we have in our fridge. But sometimes we are going to restaurants, and after that whole evening we have too many complaints that it was too much, it was too heavy for stomach, and this because. But I believe that is some other side the people they eat only in restaurants. They are after that they look like in Florida.
Yeah. Well, you deal with a lot of crazy people in Florida too, where I mean, it's like always the stereotype of that. But you do play ice hockey yourself. I've seen videos of you skating around.
Yeah.
How has putting on this size impacted your ice hockey ability? Because you look at the average ice hockey player, they don't look like a bodybuilder.
Yeah, but it's because it's the jersey and everything. And it was, when it was COVID situation, and that was that my husband couldn't play. And after that, they opened these ice hockey rinks, and it was their program, something like shoot and skate. And there were allowed only 6 people because of quarantine. 6 people, and my husband go to with me because I have to stand on ice on skates because I will forget everything. So I was with him, and after that I told him I want to go there with puck and ice hockey stick, not only like public, because I when I came to USA, I was able to skate, but only like public session, something like that. And since then, my husband showed me something, of course, that for me, because really I feel also that my movement in some joints, like wrist or ankles, is not like ice hockey player. And after that, oh, you look like with a spade, because for me it's ice hockey like completely new. But I recognize that it's very good, like to relief from everything, because there is cold, you are sweaty after under this jersey, and it's better. Like for example, someone is going to sauna to be warmer, but for what in Florida? You have outside very hot weather. It's not necessary to go and to be warmer. So that's good.
No, I'm in Minnesota, so we do a lot of hockey up here. I skate, especially during the winter. I skate all the time, and I never played it. Unfortunately, that's the one thing I regret. I always wish I would have been a hockey player if I could do it all over again. But yeah, that is great. So, what team does your husband play for?
He was very good in Slovakia, like because he is old also, and he most of the time he played in Slovakia, and right now he is in Florida, and he played like there are many teams. These groups, and they did some league, and they played for fun. It's
Yeah.
not nothing important, but really he also he is lucky that he's still in good shape, and he is very fast despite that he is 55 years old. So that's also because when we met, he hated to train in the gym because ice hockey players also they have this preparation in the gym, and he told me I hated this, but on the ice he's still good. So
No. Yeah, that's great. I have a few friends' dads that also do sort of like those leagues that you're talking about. And they are a lot of fun. I've gone to some games just to watch them, and it is entertaining. And it's a lot of fun to watch. But I mean, in bodybuilding too, like you said, you've been taking 3 years off now. Do you have any plans of stepping back on the stage, or are you just gonna see what happens? Where are you at in that?
Yeah, right now I am personal trainer in the gym, and I was thinking when it was maybe good timing because when I stopped competing was because of this COVID came and these competitions were banned, mostly of them. So, and I was thinking that maybe I will be back. But after these 3 years, I recognize that really it's for me. Maybe this master category is good, but I'm not thinking very seriously because I have to be very realistic that this shape is gone, and I am not able to build muscles in my age right now, like new muscles, new measure, and I can see that really these women are very huge right now. That's
It's really about maintaining really at this point where you just got to make sure that you don't
yeah,
really do that. And you know, good for you too, because I've talked to some people who they don't realize that and then they just try to keep doing it and then it just
yeah.
doesn't end well.
You have in your head that okay, I should, but after that you recognize no, it's not possible. Okay, that's not. Maybe someone is gifted that really he can or she can lift heavy weights for a very long time. I mean, when you are older, but I feel what I don't want to say that I'm thinking and I feel the same what my body that is not right now is not possible to push these boundaries again.
And when it comes to your training, do you still train heavy at all or do you do more sort of time under tension? What does your training really look like now?
Uh, what I can say it's my opinion that I'm trying my best, but really it's a very lower weight in comparison to my past. That's really, but
Oh, I would hope
what,
if you were just telling me right now that all of a sudden you're just maxing out and like lifting heavy, I'd be like, okay, what's going on now?
yeah, because I feel that okay, I can do that, but really when I look, oh, it's too small. But really, that's too bad that I have memories that I was able to do something much more. But that in this matter, I am very grateful and I am lucky and I am satisfied that I did something. And right now, I am not jealous that young people can do more. I am lucky and I watch them and go and do that because your time is right now. My time was that time, and right now, sure not, sure not.
And for any of the people that are listening out here that are thinking about maybe getting started in bodybuilding, what's the best piece of advice that you would have for them just to get started?
Get started. Yeah, it's difficult for people who are how to say. You have to be a little stubborn. You have to do the same things. You have to do eat almost the same food for a very long time. And what I remember, or I know that every time a question was, you are able to eat, for example, eggs or some fish for a long time. Yes, I am able, but for someone, oh my god, never, never. So you each must try that, and really is not very difficult to do bodybuilding, I think. But on the other side, is difficult because if you are not this person and you need always change routine, for example, routine regarding nutrition or routine in the gym, because I recognize that people when you put them the same exercises. Oh, I don't want to do that. I want something new because I read something. I want to try this because this is boring. It's not about it. You have to do that.
And when it comes to being a trainer, what is your favorite part about being a trainer and what is your least favorite part about being a trainer?
You know what? I can tell you that really for me to be trainer is maybe not so pleasure because in my mind, I can be much tougher to my clients, because I want for them the best. But right now is different era of how to say, of spending time and everything. And I think these people, they have a lot of opportunities and a lot of hobbies, and they don't want to, for example, train too hard, because after that they feel pain, and they don't like that, and after that I have to adjust my opinion. Okay, if you don't want to train this, we can move and to do something else. Of course, if some healthy problem is there, okay. But if you are healthy, very healthy, why you are not going to do as much as possible that time? So that's difficult.
Yeah, it just seems like people in a lot of time aren't willing to pay the sacrifices that really need to happen
Yeah,
to really see the results.
exactly.
They just want that quick fix where they just want it to happen overnight. Where, again, if that does happen to you, give me a call, because I'm willing to be your client then, because you have found the secret that everybody's looking for. But unfortunately, that has never really seemed to be the case. But I always talk about on this podcast how much I hate cardio, and please tell me that you don't do as much cardio as you did when you were competing, because if you're still doing that much cardio, I'll just feel bad about myself.
When I was competitors, I didn't do cardio at all.
What?
Because no, because I wanted to keep this muscle on my body, and cardio for women is not very good, mainly because during cardio I lose also muscles. That was problem. But that's true that I like walking, like long distance walking, and I like to be always in some movement. But really, I didn't do like that. I'm going on stepper, on bicycle, or something. Not really not. I am very bad for this advice, because really, if someone cannot lose weight, he must do this cardio. He must do. But for me, it wasn't good that time, and nobody believes that time, because when we were on competition somewhere abroad. So firstly, these competitors were on the steppers, and I lifted weights before competition, because for me it was best what to do. Yes.
I guess there are some benefits to being that sort of having that metabolism and being that skinny where, yeah, hey, you don't have to do cardio, I guess. So
Yes.
in the
Yes.
long run, there are some benefits, to it as well. But when you're just doing this lifestyle and everything, everyone always has those days where they don't feel like training, where they don't feel like working out. And I don't care what anyone says, everyone that I've talked to has had those days. How do you still push through on those days where you're just telling yourself like, hey, I'm just not feeling it? Because I found that that's what differentiates the guests that I have from a lot of people in the general public, is that the general public, they'll find a excuse to not work out. But the guests that I have, where do you think that comes from? And how do you sort of convince yourself to still get that workout in?
That's true that these days are, I had also these days, but for me, is the worst part of this is to go to the gym. When I am in the gym, after that I notice, okay, there are machine and I have to do this, and I'm trying to do best training. Of course, maybe sometimes is that is situation when I am starting to train, and I recognize I don't feel good. After that, I'm trying to, little slower, and to think if there is some problem, if I have, for example, some high fever or headache or something like that. But still, I'm trying to do at least moderate training, because I am in the gym. So what is necessary to do something? But really sure, there are some days that I am not able to train completely, like that I'm going to push these weights and as much as possible, because I feel that something is going wrong. So what to do?
Yeah. No, and you got to deal with that too, that you realize that you're human after all, and that, you're
Yeah.
never going to be perfect, 24/7. But if someone were to walk up to you and say, there's one thing that you could change about the sport of bodybuilding and everyone would go along with it, what would be the one thing that you'd like to see changed?
Change about bodybuilding. Maybe right now I don't want to be very rude, but I would like to change rules which are on competitions, really, because it's not uh, very clever to have rules that, for example, body fat is almost the same in between female competitors to men competitors. Should be some differences, should, and after that maybe it will help for these women to be more published to magazines, to have more commercial advertisements, because in Slovakia it's horrible situation. It's nothing. In USA maybe it's better, but what I noticed, and I know that for example, really I offered my photos and nobody was able to publish them because of this, that I have muscles. So that's problem. But still, I think this sport is people must think about this sport that is like edge of abilities to do something with body. It's not like that you will be high level healthy and I don't know what, but it's only short time when you push these boundaries, and after that your body can adjust to normal life, normal situation, and you don't have to have any problems in the future. For example, many competitors, they look after competing very nice, very healthy. Many not, maybe, but still is up to each competitor what is going to do in the future. With sometimes when someone stop competing, or they stop eating normally, and after that they look not nice. So.
Yeah. Was that hard for you to accept when you finally stopped competing, that you are not going to be able to maintain that, look that you've been so used to having for so long?
Yeah, that's memories that really I looked this shape I liked. That's what I when I was on the stage with our best form. What I was able to achieve, that was nice. But also on the other side, I recognize it's not possible to do for a long time. You cannot look in this shape 1 year. That's maybe my advantage that I recognize. And after competition, I I took a rest. I wasn't in the gym few weeks, and for example, I was going to spa, and this relaxing recovery program. Everything was done, and after that, I was full of strength, and I could continue.
No, absolutely. It's people don't understand the rest and recovery just needs to be so much more talked about really than it is. So yeah, I couldn't agree with you more on that. And being that you do split your time between the US and Slovakia, what is your favorite part about the US, and what's the one part that you prefer more about Slovakia than the US?
For me, I like USA living because these people are more friendly. Not only like among bodybuilders or something, but really they can very uh, encourage when women do this sport, for example. So. What I want to say that really I feel as bodybuilder there very comfortable. In Slovakia is a worse situation, but of course I am from Slovakia. But I know that here in Slovakia people are more, they don't like new things, and after that, they are a little stubborn, and why you doing this? That's these questions are always. But I think right now, when I am older, right now I is my advantage that I'm looking like that, because really I can compare their bodies and my body, and I am lucky that I look like
Yeah.
this. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And when we do have you on in a year, because I'd love to talk to you in a year just to see what you've been up to. Do you have any goals for a year from now? Where would you like to be at, just in your career or just in your overall life? What would you like to have achieved in a year?
Yeah, right now I'm still in the gym, and I like to be there. And my plan, I will see, because really opportunity right now they are only regarding to be some with some advices like personal trainer, and maybe people once they recognize that they want to look healthy, and they much more they will this sports, to they take this sports more seriously, because right now it's like, oh, what are you doing? It's only lifting weights. But because in Slovakia best or most popular sports are football and hockey. So that's that's a difficult situation to do some, how to say, some ideas among people that to do some advertisement for bodybuilding. That's very difficult right now.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, and luckily, Instagram I think has been helping it, and other social media sites, but it still needs to, especially in European countries that I found where I assumed that it was maybe just as popular as it was in the States, but then you talk to all these guests and they're like, no, it's not at all. So they definitely need to, find some ways to try to make it more popular. But I mean, really, we cannot thank you enough for coming on and sharing your journey with us. I mean, it was an absolute delight to talk to you, and yeah,
Yeah,
it's a delight to have you on, and I really appreciate talking to someone that has been associated with his lifestyle for so long. And, thank you again. I really, really appreciate it.
thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Well, everyone, this is Ryan Johnson, DD on the Spot, signing off. Have a great day, everyone.